Man like Mark Sullivan, the warrior self. Stay tuned for the thrilling episode. Woo!
A positive mental attitude can clear away all obstacles which stand between you and your major purpose in life.
This is the Snowboard Project featuring Mark Sullivan and the Bead. The Snowboard Project. The Snowboard Project. The Snowboard Project.
Welcome back to the Snowboard Project. I'm Mark Sullivan.
And I am the Beeve, and we are here in Ketchum, Sun Valley, Idaho, bringing you Real Talk. What episode is this right now?
Episode number 26, 20 and 6.
I remember when I was 26.
Yes, I was 26 too at one point in time.
It's a great year.
It was a great year, actually. I think I was just moving to California at that point in time.
Nice.
Quite a long time ago. So, we got Real Talk this week. Not a ton going on in snowboarding.
Hey, don't chop us so early on that.
No.
We're going to talk about some stuff.
We got some stuff to talk about for sure. So
totally.
What happened this week, Pete? Let's get into it.
Absolutely nothing.
Wait a minute. That's not fair, man.
Okay. No. I think, some resorts opened this week.
Yes, we did. I was Sunday River, Killington on the East Coast.
Yep. My favorite was this one. My favorite was seeing, it was, I believe it was A Basin. Opened on the 19th, by the way.
Before scheduled 20th?
Before Loveland, which was your pick.
I think they probably announce it like, oh, we're going to open the 20th. And they're like, shh, don't tell anyone we're opening on the 19th.
But it was awesome. They had this video and it was like, it said like, Colorado is now open, like claiming like they're the start of the ski season.
Right. They didn't apparently know that Wolf Creek opened a whole week before they did. So,
it's like opening Colorado. You're like, bro, it opened last week.
Yeah, so then Wolf Creek opened North America? What?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You weren't first. So, but they beat Loveland, I guess. I think you were rubbing that in on me this morning, saying like A Basin beat Loveland. Well, guess what? We still both lost.
We did.
We both lost.
You still probably owe me lunch.
And then also there's another... wait, you can't just throw that in there.
No, I mean, I won a bet. I at least beat you.
No, that's not winning the bet. The bet is which resort opens first. Okay. Wolf Creek opened first. Neither of us won. We both lost.
Okay. All right.
Ski Wild Mountain opened up in the Midwest. So our first, I think, Minnesota Ski Wild Mountain. And I saw a little Switzerland is blowing snow.
Where is Ski Wild?
I think it's up in the kind of Twin Cities area.
Okay.
Minnesota. Somewhere in Minnesota. I'm not exactly familiar on how to get to Ski Wild Mountain. However, next time I go to the Twin Cities, I will figure out how to get there.
All right.
I guess.
It's probably one of those mountains that's either like it's just a valley out, like it's flat and then it goes a valley, or it's just a trash heap covered in dirt.
It could be. These mountains are more like rolling hills, but I'll tell you what, the stoke of the people who are there
that is true.
Riding, I mean, you could just tell in the video clips. I just looked at Instagram, looked at the Interior Plains Project Instagram. They had some posts up, and then I went to the Ski Wild Mountain Instagram feed. But yeah, you can just tell the excitement. They have like 2 rope tows, one on either side of this white ribbon of death, and then a few like jib obstacles, like kind of low rails set up, and it looked like people were just sessioning, having a great time opening the season for the Midwest.
You know what's rad about this time of year for the Midwest?
What?
You can go session rails and then you can get off the hill and go play Frisbee golf right on the same mountain.
I never had looked at it that way. I'd never framed it in that kind of light, but yeah, I will
just saying,
that.
If you ask any Minnesotan snowboarder.
So I'll pack a bag with my boards and pack another bag for my discs. Something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
I had some Minnesota friends back in the day, and I went up there to go snowboarding. And it was like late season, and we probably did more Frisbee golfing than snowboarding.
Right.
It was hilarious.
So you pack your discs and your sticks.
The discs and the sticks.
Yeah, discs and sticks. Okay. So what else is going? Did anywhere on the West Coast open? Any like Canada? Any like California, Washington? Anyone out west open?
I don't think so. Did you see any coming across?
I didn't either.
No.
I know that our resort hasn't opened yet. I looked out the window and it's pretty much grassy still.
Yeah, wait, we're in room 202 looking out the window.
Yeah. Okay, just stop right there. Just pump
At the ski
brakes.
lifts.
Pump the brakes.
We are
dude.
that close. Okay.
Yeah. I know.
But other things. There was an opening of an indoor ski area, right?
Oh yes, in China there was Wanda Ski Park, the world's largest indoor resort, and apparently it's they have it for different reasons. I was just checking Jake Burton's Instagram. It's a regular drop by for me, but he was checking out the opening of the Wanda Ski Park, and I guess it's just too cold outside, so they actually go inside to have warmer temperatures at the Wanda Ski Park. I mean, in China they do things a little differently, and so apparently the Wanda Ski Park does things a little bit differently.
They have to build an indoor park to get out of the cold.
Right.
That's
it could be like
ridiculous.
Fairbanks, Alaska, where it's like negative 60, the ambient temperature. And so therefore you're just like, oh God, I can't wait to get into this 15-degree warm weather, you know?
Is there any ski area up there in Fairbanks at all?
I think there is a little. Yeah, there is. It's like part of the military base, I believe, and they have like a little resort up there. It's really in Fairbanks they don't have big mountains, so they just have like ice cold temperatures.
Wow,
it's really ice cold too. That's like the coldest place in America.
Well, so do you think maybe in this kind of new, I guess, environmental challenge that we're going through, where like certain places are heating up and some are staying bitter cold, we're going to be seeing a lot more of these indoor parks, I guess, open up?
I think that in Fairbanks they could actually use an indoor snow park just to have some warm, balmy weather in wintertime, like 15, 20 degrees. That would be like, people would be like shredding in like shorts and T-shirts. In Fairbanks, like there's always one guy, like you get there in like March and it's like negative 10 degrees and there's like one guy in shorts outside of Walmart in Fairbanks. It's just like there's always one guy who's
so
like,
balmy out here right now.
Yeah, there's always somebody who thinks it's like springtime already. I don't know.
It's funny though. I mean, when you live in a ski resort, you're like, it comes to spring and you're like, 39 degrees. Throwing on the shorts.
I know, right?
Oh, I'm sweating, Yeah. It's like that. Those guys are like, negative 10. Oof, balmy.
I know. It's seriously cold in Fairbanks. So if you get to go there, do it during the ice carving festival. I think that'd at least be a good reason to go.
Did you go there during
No,
an
I
ice
didn't,
carving
but
festival?
I would totally, because I think it's pretty rad. Like they have this like World Ice Carving Championships, like ice sculptures. And so it's like basically like there's a whole community of ice sculptors who have moved to Fairbanks based on the cold weather and optimal ice carving conditions in Fairbanks.
I didn't know you were such a fan of ice carving.
Dude, it's so rad.
Really?
I always wanted to have like ice sculptures at Tailgate, just as like if like they have all these art installations at Burning Man.
Right.
I wanted to have like ice art installations at Tailgate, but we'll see. It's under new ownership now. They can figure that out for themselves.
Be like, I'm camping underneath the giant like woman.
I know, but ice sculptures are not cheap actually, and you have to have special water that doesn't have any bubbles in it to get that really clear ice. Yeah, it's like a specialized thing.
No way. So wait, you have to have the ice shipped in then?
No, I think they have like special freezers, but there's like I want to say they like kind of like concrete, how they like shake the concrete to get all the air bubbles out. Like they don't want any air bubbles in the ice. Yeah,
we're going completely off topic.
I know,
this
we
is
are
amazing.
Yeah.
Back to like indoor.
That
indoor ski areas, indoor parks.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen like Ski Dubai. They're doing the Etc. camp, which happened this last week.
Right.
Which we've seen nothing on.
I know. Talk about a travesty of news information to the world of snowboarding. I want to know about the Etc. camp.
I want to know how many Dubonese children showed up in their Maseratis ready to rock.
I can only imagine. I mean, the picture in my head from our initial announcement still rings true. Right, so
Ski Dubai is an indoor ski area in Dubai.
Yeah, but now you have like Rupemantenainen in Finland, and then you have one.
Your accent is so good. Sorry.
Okay, then there's one in like the Netherlands. I think there's one in England. There's all sorts of.
Why are these places doing? I mean, like England, I kind of get, but like the Netherlands and those places seems like
don't snow.
So they just want to be able to do it year round, basically.
Well, think about it. I mean, maybe the next Shaun White will come from a ski dome. Right? Because
That's
they'll
an
be able to
interesting
train
idea.
year round, 365 days a year. And there's some kind of parent out there who's like, I told you it is Tuesday, day number 234 of our snowboard season. boot 'em up.
Boot 'em up.
Boot 'em up, yeah.
Are there still ski areas out there? Or remember those ones that had like the it was like the plastic grass? You could like
yeah, they still have those.
They still do.
There's one in Minnesota actually. That has the plastic grass over the whole mountain, actually. And so there are still those ones, but those are like thumb breakers. You drop your thumb into the, they like rip your thumb off, basically, because there's like big gaps in between the bristles. And so it actually is it's definitely more dangerous than snow.
Have you snowboarded on one of those?
I have not. I actually have on an in run of a jump that was just like bristles. Like
into like a water jump or something?
Yeah, exactly. In like Park City. Excuse me. Park City.
Did we both just burp at the same time?
That was like
going on?
Symbiotic burping. I don't know what you call
Synchronized.
it. Synchronized.
Synchronized
yes.
burping.
We're working on our new skill here for
Olympic
real talk.
Skill.
Yes.
So you jumped into one of those water ramps.
Yeah.
What was I've gone down and I've seen them. Graham Watanabe, our good friend Graham Watanabe, had he had a job as like he would do
water park tech.
Yeah, he would do the water park show at the Olympic training
that's where
center.
I did it. That's where I did it. I basically flailed, just did like a big board high half backflip into the water. It wasn't that rad for me anyway. I don't know. Maybe you can like really do some good training there, but I think it's more for like skiers who don't need to, come off your toes or your heels or whatever, like where you have a tendency to do that on a snowboard jump off your toes, your heels. Skiers, they kind of jump flat base. And so I'd say that's more ideally set up for aerial skiers.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that would be hard hitting it without being able to lay an edge in.
Yeah. But let's get back to snowboarding.
Yeah,
let's get back into some snowboarding stuff.
What should we go into?
Who's on drugs? How about that?
Oh, okay.
Because I got a who's on drugs this week.
Hit me. Who's on drugs this week,
Okay,
Sully?
so I'm going to go with this clip of Big Air Jared Elston. He's got this clip.
Really quickly, Jared Elston kind of coming up in the ranks.
He had a full part in the Beta movie. So he's one of these up-and-coming guys kind of earmarked for future fame and fortune in the world of snowboarding.
I saw his little clip went out there on Snowboarder this week where they were like, "Oh, check out his part," and it was pretty sick. It was a good solid part. But what was Big Air Jared doing on?
Oh, it was a clip that Austin Smith posted up on his Instagram. And he's doing like a switch backside 900 with like this off-axis spin in the middle.
Right.
And so he kind of goes into the switchback 9, then drops a shoulder halfway through and spins off-axis and brings it around and stomps the landing. Pretty cool little variation of a switchback 9.
I did see that. It was kind of rad because it was like he would go into it and then it kind of looked like he was like dipping it into like a kind of this weird backside rodeo flip-esque thing, and then he'd straighten back out and stomp it. Right?
Yeah, and like that I think was his last clip maybe in his part there. Oh, so yeah.
Gotcha.
The sickest rodeo 9 ever according to Benji Styles.
Okay.
Road 9.
Damn, Benji.
Yeah, so there you go.
Benji Styles gives you 5 stars.
That's right. So I thought that was a pretty cool little clip. And there's there's some other stuff. There was one of Aero Etala doing like and what I've been seeing like with the street rails, now I'm no expert on like the street rails per se, but just like now people are doing kind of these combinations where it's like 2 or 3 or 4 obstacles in a row. And there's a clip of Aero Etala in Helsinki, Finland, doing, I don't know, like 6 or 7 stringing together. Some of them are small, some are big, but it's just like cool to see people kind of doing like a line in an urban environment through multiple obstacles.
Well, I think that's been happening for a while, right?
A little bit,
seen some good follow cams through like some tight, I guess cityscapes and different things,
Yeah, I would say so. But this one I just saw Vero just reminded me that like that's maybe like going to be something people are going to be doing a little bit more of in the future, just kind of looking for something where it's not just like, okay, here's the red ledge or whatever.
Right.
Here's, something that I can string into this, into this, into this, and finding more of like a downhill to multiple obstacles, if you will.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to find one of those zones, like kind of in like a European town or something where you're kind of like going along and pumping along the street and you hit something and then you dive into someone's yard and then jump off their roof or,
Yeah, just something like that. Exactly.
I always thought those were pretty sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, what else do we got going on here this week? Not a ton going on, just some resort openings.
Well, let's
early
back up.
jibbing. Okay.
There were some big advances in Women's half-pipe snowboarding, right?
Oh, yes, that's right. So obviously, I don't know if we mentioned this or not, but I think 2 weeks ago, Chloe Kim landed the first double cork 1080 in the pipe on Sosfe, I believe. And now Maddie Mastro, second girl, doing I believe it's a frontside 9 double cork. So I have to watch that. Let me look up this.
It's pretty rad, though. It's like, we've obviously seen some doubles in like the backcountry or the park from some girls. I think, gosh, who was it? That did the first double backflip from a girl. I'm trying to think of her name. Sully, can you help me?
Sorry, I'm watching this clip.
Sully is.
Oh yeah, Maddie Mastro frontside 9 double cork, definitely a nice variation there. Getting the grab too, just such a rock solid grab on that, no questions. Stomped the landing, and then Haley Langland comments, "Holy fatty to flatty." Ooh. Came in a little shallow on the landing, but she stomped it and rode away. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So it's just a matter of time, a little more practice of that trick.
Oh
and
yeah,
she'll have that thing
I
dialed.
mean, really, like seeing the level raised for like women's halfpipe riding right now. I mean, we're gonna go into this season with like basically a whole new standard. With double corks now, with back-to-back 1080s. I think we're going to see basically all the girls, or at least the top podium girls, let's say, top 3 girls doing back-to-back 10s, and now we're going to start seeing double corks on the regular.
Would you say that this is kind of a paradigm moment right here?
Like a paradigm shift.
A paradigm shift.
Ooh, this could be a paradigm shift where now the once, just the simple 1080s will no longer cut it, and you're going to have to do double corks.
Right.
I think we could be at that point right now.
We could be at that point for women's snowboarding. I mean, what are some other moments that kind of like were like that in women's snowboarding? Would you say like, I don't know.
I'd say back-to-back 10s. The first time we saw back-to-back 10s in the pipe anyway.
Was that Kelly?
I believe it was actually Chloe.
Was it Chloe?
Who did back-to-back 10s first.
So
Chloe
she's the
Kim.
shifter?
She's the paradigm shift, yeah.
What?
Yeah. So,
how old is she right now? 17?
Yeah, like 17, 18
Jeez.
maybe. Yeah,
Man.
Young kid still. Just coming into her own.
I wish I could do back-to-back 10s in the pipe.
Yep, not going to happen, Beef.
Nope, never in my lifetime.
Nope, not going to happen. So maybe we can go to...
my 17 years was long ago.
Yeah, maybe we could go to like that indoor mountain in Finland with the half pipe, and then that way you can just be like, man, I would totally be doing back-to-back 10s if these ceilings weren't so low.
Just blame it on the ceilings.
Yeah, totally. So that could work. Okay, so what else we got going on? So there's like, and all the riders, by the way, are still in Sosfe. People are coming and going. That's kind of the place to be. Also, kind of the Stubai Glacier in Austria, just outside of Innsbruck. That's been going off. We saw the firecracker rail. It's just kind of this like falling. Have you seen that rail?
No.
It's like it's hard to explain, the firecracker rail. Let me bring up a clip so I can show you. Look at that.
They have such ridiculous... Oh, that's kind of rad.
Yeah, it's just like a
You could literally like board slide a big round rail that's like in stair steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what people are doing, basically. So that was pretty cool. You got Hintertux, Stubai, you got Sosfe. Like, Europe is kind of like the place to be right now. If you're like an aspiring professional snowboarder, they have those glaciers. They have park setups right now. Hitting, it's like hard pack conditions. You're not going to find powder, really.
I feel like the videos coming out of Europe and on those glaciers are really sick right now. Like, the jump setups are all really rad.
Yeah.
I
mean, good training anyway. Hey folks, if you're tuning in to us still, please take a minute to go to Patreon.
Wait.
What?
Is there like some question that they wouldn't still be tuning in?
Well, if they're still listening, they can go to patreon.com/thesnowboardproject.
But you're still staying still.
Still.
Like, they
might have just listened to the first
far.
5 minutes. Yeah, they might not have made it this far. So.
Okay.
But I just want, if you're still listening, okay, if you're listening, go to patreon.com/thesnowboardproject, and we're going to count on you guys to support an independent voice in snowboarding media. It's how we're going to keep this thing advertising free and have a voice that is not affected by the advertisers.
Patreon.com/thesnowboardproject.
But yeah, we just had the Norwegian Snowboarding Awards actually this week. Yeah, so
what happened there?
Well, Marcus Cleveland. It's like how you might say it if you're Norwegian. Cleveland. Right. He won the Best Norwegian Rider of the Year. Torgeir won the Best Tricks, which back 5 to method. That was the Trick of the Year.
Interesting.
And
Trick of the Year was a back 5 method.
Yeah, that is the Trick of the Year.
That's so rad.
Yeah, you'd have to be stupid not to think that was the Trick of the Year.
It was the
like the video clip that broke the internet.
Right.
You know, and I'm not sure, but I think that Stale must have won something. I'm not sure what he won, but I'm sure he won something as well.
Did you check out that the Volcom video that just came out? That 10 or 11 minute Volcom video.
I did. What was that called? The
something gondola.
Kabosta gondola.
Kabosta gondola.
Yes, I did check that out.
What the hell does that mean, by the way?
You know, I think it's one of those esoteric names that doesn't really mean anything to you, really. Mm-hmm. But I think that, Kabusta gondola. It's basically about traveling. It looks like I should now talk with an Italian accent once I say Kabusta gondola.
You got a lot of accents today. So
yeah, you know, anyhow. So it's basically like Oliver Gittler and Mike Rav and Arthur Longo traveling Europe by train and just going from resort to resort by train, which is actually just like a cool kind of little adventure video. Right. Looks like they had a great time, and I'm stoked on that. I'm stoked on just having claiming that experience of just traveling.
Yeah,
with
they
your
kind
friends.
of talked a lot about just like, not just, going somewhere and just going to the ski resort, I guess the thing that they do, taking it all in, going and seeing what the different places were about. There was a lot of skateboarding through cities, which was cool. Yeah, I like that. Very Volcom feeling, I guess. It
was a pretty Volcom feeling, but I think it's worth the 10, 12-minute watch. Yeah. And really, that just reminds me of what I do with my friends. Granted, we don't have trains, really, that go between the ski areas here in America, but just like that is like a classic kind of road trip-esque theme, which to me has always been part of my snowboarding experience. So,
how rad would trains be between ski resorts? Sun Valley really was a train resort. Like, you could do a direct train from Los Angeles all the way here. I know.
That must have been some pretty crazy times. Good parties on the
partying train. For 3 days while you go up to Sun Valley.
Yeah.
Be crazy.
Yeah, so I would recommend checking that out. And the full video is on TW Snow, so you can check out the whole thing. And there's other movies coming out now. We're still in premiere season, so Absinthe's movie is, I think, Stay Tuned, and that's been premiering around both in Europe. There's a European tour, there's an American tour going on. You know
what I think's rad about Absinthe, actually?
What?
Because this came across. I saw that Melvin is sponsoring their movie.
Melvin Brewing. Right. They're getting involved with
which I think was like my pick of my favorite microbrew.
I know. Look at you just getting passed over for an Absinthe movie premiere sponsorship.
I know.
But hey,
when is Melvin going to call up and sponsor us for some beer?
I don't know. I don't know. But I tell you what, that just shows the bars being raised for like beer sponsorships and snowboarding. So first 10 Barrel comes in.
Right.
Now Melvin, who's next?
Right.
Who's next?
I'm sure over the years, come on, like Budweiser and Bud Light and Coors.
I'm sure,
in the mix.
They've definitely been in the mix.
They for sure have.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool just to see like craft beer getting involved on the sponsorship level.
I think a craft beer like that really came from humble beginnings. You see a lot of craft beer. Well, I think a lot of them do come from, but like 10 Barrel obviously is like Budweiser, but like that guy was a snowboard bum and now he's sponsoring
Yeah. Well, Absinthe. I think that 10 Barrel came from those same humble beginnings. They just got tapped on the shoulder and like, hey, you guys want tens of millions of dollars? Sure. I'll like that money. Yeah. So anyhow,
can't say I wouldn't do the same.
Yeah. So also, in the Minneapolis, they just had to stop at the Cold Front tour. Here's another little tidbit, a tidbit of news for you.
Share me your tidbit.
Okay. So, I would say that the tidbit is that Tommy Gesme became pro for Adidas and Salomon. So he basically became a pro rider this week, and I guess like at the movie premiere, like all these riders were there for the Minneapolis, like kind of the Midwest stop of the Cold Front tour, and they played House Call Only and Blender, which was unique for that stop.
Sure.
And then also the Tommy Gesme project, which was I guess Blender. And so anyhow, he had a movie, but then he became a pro. I guess they gave him a pro model boot that he's going to have on Adidas. Yeah, he's going to have a pro model boot. And
is this how it works these days? Like, hey, you finally made it, so we're throwing you a party.
I guess so. I mean, they never threw a party for me to make me a pro.
Well, you weren't. Were you? No, you weren't pro.
Well, not like in that, Tommy Gesme sort of sense of the word.
Right.
I didn't have anyone like pull me up under their shoulders like sedan chair style and walk me across a packed theater. No, that didn't happen.
They had him in a chair singing Hava Nagila or something?
No, but it's just they all hoisted him up on their shoulders and threw him around a little bit. So, yeah.
God.
Yeah, so that happened though in Minneapolis. It's like kind of preseason, maybe they went out to Ski Wild Mountain, had a little jib sesh, kind of like
Sure.
It kind of reminded me of like the Bone Zone, like the Brighton Park, The Bone Zone still is going off this weekend. So yeah, people are still doing it, bro.
People are still up there?
They're still doing the Bone Zone.
Whatever, JP.
What, bro?
Yeah.
No, bro.
Go back to your trailer.
Bro, I don't live in a trailer. Okay, let's get back to this real talk here. What other real talk do we got?
JP.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Hey, if you could just like go over there and take all your clothes off and just wear your socks.
Okay,
we get this cool picture. That'd be great.
Oh, bro, I love doing that. That's the way I always wear my socks. God, I always put on my socks first so I can walk across in front of the mirror just with socks on.
I put my socks on one
sock at a time. Okay, enough about this. Enough of that. Okay, what else have we got here for real talk? Let's do some more
let's
real
go
talking.
into number 42, scamming ski areas.
Number 42, scamming ski areas.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me just say that I think that scamming ski areas is wrong. You don't just scam a ski area. Would you like clip a ticket at like Mount Baker?
Oof. Man, no, I probably wouldn't because Mount Baker's core, Yeah. Mount Baker's pretty cool. Would you clip a ticket at Sun Valley?
No, I get free tickets at Sun Valley, so why would I ever clip a ticket here?
Why would I ever?
Why are you trying to look? Okay, first of all, I don't like where this is going. Second of all,
I'm just saying when things are expensive,
when things are expensive,
Mark Sullivan has clipped a ticket.
I haven't clipped tickets in years, okay?
I know you haven't.
I don't clip tickets. I don't believe in that kind of thing. I believe in supporting my local ski areas, and that's the way I roll. I support. And by the way, now that I can just get an Epic Pass, or
right,
I don't need to even consider that.
Sure.
So,
well, this week there was a guy out in New York who tried to scam a ski area.
What do you mean he tried to scam a ski?
I don't really know how this happened or what his thought process was. So, let me just say this. Isaac Hyde, 37, was found guilty of the misdemeanor charge in connection with a sworn written statement that he gave to the state police after he claimed that he spent a night last March 31st to April 1st, stuck on a ski lift at the resort.
So he got stuck overnight on a ski lift.
Yeah.
But then what he made a false statement? Is that what that says? He made a false, he basically lied about it?
Yeah.
And how did they bust him for lying about it?
Well, okay, so I guess he got off the lift and when they fired up the lift in the morning, he just stumbles off the lift oh, I was stuck there all night.
Right.
Without skis and without poles, without a snowboard or anything on.
Okay.
Okay. And the cops were like, "Hey, Isaac, how you feeling? You just stayed up, it was 0 degrees all night.
How's the hypothermia?
How's the hypothermia? How you have all your digits?"
Yeah, and he was fine.
Yeah, they were like, "We're calling BS," but he kept fighting it. He's like, "No, this is an injustice. I stayed the night on the lift because someone turned it off on me."
And now he got charged.
Yeah.
So now he got charged by the police for lying in a sworn statement.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah, he did.
That just shows you what'll happen to you if you try to scam a ski area.
Yeah.
They will catch you every time.
And if you want to know what the actual reaction of how his night went, you can check out the trailer for Frozen. Sounds something like this.
Frozen, like the Disney movie?
That's the lift stopping. Yep. Oh, Isaac's on the lift. Oh, where is he? Before someone gets left behind. like Isaac. All the lights are turning off. Uh-oh.
Wait, people are screaming?
Yeah.
I don't know if Disney movies was screaming.
No one knows that we're up here. A triumphant, relentless, and harrowing experience.
So must be a different Frozen, not the one I watched with my daughter.
No, this is the one that's like the Jaws of ski areas.
The Jaws.
Yeah, they're all stuck on this lift. Now they're dangling. They're trying to like get themselves off. There's some wolves underneath.
Oh.
A moon is going dark.
Oh, what's going to happen?
Oh, the lift breaks. One of them falls.
Wait a minute, the lift breaks.
Oh, they're surrounded by wolves.
And then they get eaten by wolves.
Oh, Isaac's jumping. Oh.
Jumped into the mouth of a wolf.
Those were both his legs breaking.
Oh. It sounds like I don't even have to watch this movie. It sounds like it pretty much gives it all away in the teaser.
Yeah, so, but you imagine like that whole moment that we just experienced happened on a ski lift.
Right.
And then Isaac walks off like, ooh, a little chilly. I was just stuck on this lift.
Next time I'll bring my snowboard or skis.
Yeah, and I think he was probably going to take some charges against the ski area.
Right.
And that failed.
Right, and then I wonder if he's going to go to jail for that.
I don't think so. I think it said he had like a $1,000 fine and he had like probation for a couple years or something.
Bummer, bro.
Yeah, right? You don't even get to do hard time for your bullshit.
I know, right?
Right.
Okay.
Wait, how else have you, okay, like in the nice, like kind of like ways, how have you scammed a ski area, Mark?
Okay, well, I've definitely eaten like out of the condiments bin at a ski area.
We all have.
Okay. So I've done that. I'm not comfortable talking about scamming.
Come on.
Because here's the thing.
Okay.
It's like, honestly, the people who need to scam ski areas, they're in the know because they need to know.
Right.
And if you like talk about how people scam ski areas, and I did a little bit when I was like a teenager and stuff, I was just trying to get up the mountain. But it's like, it's like for those people who need to know, they know. And people who have like the money and can afford everything, they don't need to know. So I'm not going to talk about it. I remember that there was a story in Blunt magazine about like clipping tickets in one of the first issues. And I was like, and Dale Rayberg wrote it. And I remember like that I actually got mad at Dale because I was like, bro, you've never clipped a ticket in your life. You had a season pass. I was sitting there in the parking lot clipping tickets when you were doing this. That's bullshit. You shouldn't be talking about that. You're ruining my deal. That ruins it for me.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
So I was not cool with that. It was in like Blunt magazine, like an editorial at the back of the mag. And I was like, no, that's not like, if you can't afford it, if you need to know, you know. If you don't need to know, no one needs to know.
Right.
Right. So I thought that was bullshit then. I think it's bullshit now. How dare you even bring that up, Beeve?
How dare Isaac hide for climbing a lift tower, hopping on a lift, and then popping off at the top.
And then lying to the authorities
about it.
Yeah, that's not cool, Isaac.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Okay, so what else do we got? Let's go beyond. I don't like this number 42 thing. You're trying to paint me into a corner.
Come on. We all took some ketchup packets, some creamer, and some salts and peppers and made some tomato soup.
You ever made resort salsa?
Okay, when you wrote that, Sullivan, I remember reading that and trying the actual salsa. So Mark wrote a thing. Okay, let's be real. We're real talking. You wrote a couple things just about making food from condiments.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, tell me what the recipe was for making salsa. Oh, boy. Listen to this one. Listen to this.
Okay, so here's how you make your fresh salsa at a ski resort. So first you get about 4 ketchup packets, you get 3 relish packets, and then a bottle of Tabasco. And you basically mix all of said ingredients together, like on a napkin, or maybe you can borrow a tray or something. So you get
little pieces of the napkin with mixed in it.
I mean, that's like the roughage.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's your resort salsa.
That is, did you actually try it, or did you just say like, oh, we'll just throw this one in there and see if some dumbass does it? Because I did it. I was like 15 at the time and I did it.
You're welcome, Beef. You're welcome.
I remember trying it. I was like, this does not taste a damn thing like salsa. This is bullshit.
But you can imagine me just sitting there at my desk in Southern California just laughing.
I think my favorite was the honey butter. You could go get packets of honey from where the tea was, and mix it with warm butter.
That's right.
And then you could eat it on saltines.
Yes, honey butter.
It was always good. Yeah. Did you have that one in there? You didn't.
No, I don't think we did.
No,
that would be too obvious. That'd be too good tasting.
Let me ask you something, because at one time also in that there was like right around that time I remember there was an article also about like resort hand signals. Like you had like Brown Bear knocking was like, had a fist up against your hand. It was like, I gotta go take a shit. And like you had one that was like Vermont with like a middle it was like a V with like a middle finger T.
That's right. We had a sense of humor even back then. We like didn't ever take snowboarding too seriously. It was always about having a good time.
Those were some of my favorites, those little things.
Yeah, the little hot air. We called it hot air.
Hot air. Well,
Yes.
should we go into our trivia from last week?
Yeah, we could do that. Let's go into our trivia.
Or should we
Ooh, something else.
Dude, talk to me. What's the process? Where are we at in the flight boards? Because I want my flight board now.
Okay, so
actually,
the flight boards are being made right now. They just did a test on the graphics. So the graphics have been printed. They are in process right now, being manufactured. I'm really excited too because they're going to be coming along. Like I said, they're at the factory right now. They're making the molds for the camber, for the outline, and then they printed the graphics. And so all that's coming along. They're going to be, I mean, I'm pretty optimistic. I paid the extra for the 3-day shipping from China to America.
What was that, like $4,000? 3 days
seriously, it was like expensive.
I imagine it was expensive.
I'll tell you how much.
Sullivan was like, "Oh, we're gonna 3-day these because I need that board right now." Just let him go across the ocean, bro.
Yeah, $1,500.
$1,500.
Yeah, for 3-day shipping.
And that was 50 snowboards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was going to be like, so it was like basically the difference of 25 for like going on a boat or $30 to be 3-day shipped.
Gotcha.
So I went 3-day.
So like I'll put $5 on each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
$5 extra. Brah.
Did you just say bra?
Brah. Yeah. Okay.
God,
Yeah. Terrible.
Things that are terrible.
Yes.
Let me just ask you, how was that process? How do you think that process went? And how do you think it was received on, I guess, Flight Week was last week. How do you
I think it was pretty well received. I mean, honestly, I want to see these boards now that we've been talking about them. I'm really excited just about like getting the final product in my hands because that's really the next step. I will post some photos of kind of like the boards in process, let's say.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it'll be, I think they're going to be amazing. Actually, I'm trying to like figure out what bindings I'm going to mount on it. I'm going to figure out, like how I can accessorize my kit to match my new flight board.
Weren't you just saying you needed some bindings?
I do. I do need some bindings.
I was just about to hit the thrift store and go pick some out.
Really?
Yeah.
What, do you think they have a good selection there?
Oh man, sometimes you got to mix and match a little bit.
Oh, a little Franken
But I think that's
binding?
like my favorite thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna hope someone offers me a free pair of bindings this year. We'll see.
Wink, wink.
Nod, nod.
Nod, nod.
Right? Yes.
We don't take any kinds of
Yes, you should not,
bribery.
or you should
send us.
Yeah, to P.O. Box 1301, Ketchum, Idaho 83340.
Or 100 Peekaboo Street, Ketchum, Idaho 83340.
Right.
Hot Water Inn, care of Mark Oliver.
Right.
Base of the ski hill.
I know you keep trying to put these subtle ads and they're not so subtle.
No, I'm just trying to
Beef.
get people to send me stuff instead of you. If you'd like us to try something, a piece of equipment this winter,
you
you could always send us something.
Yeah, okay.
Or you could send me a burrito.
Let's do a little Patreon, because here's the thing: we have like the history giveaway, right? And so the thing is now is that basically we want you to share one of our prior episodes. We got 26 episodes out so far. This is number 26 right
So
here.
wait,
Actually,
are you gonna give something to someone who shares an
Yeah.
episode?
Yeah, no, you have to share an episode
Okay.
and tell us why you're sharing it. Like, hey, I like the Trish Burns interview, I like the
Right.
Draplin.
I love the beef.
Yes, you can talk about
can say that too.
yourself. Yes, you can talk about
I
yourself.
believe there was a review that said their favorite episode was Real Talk, and I think it's probably
about you, Beef. Yes.
Yeah, me.
It is about you, I'm sure. I'm positive that people were enamored with your voice.
I'm just saying.
Yes. What does that sound
There's
like?
like a
Is
sound
someone
in the
laughing?
background.
Someone laughing in the
I
background?
don't know. No, it sounds like a seal dying.
Oh, I thought it was someone laughing at.
Oh yeah, my name gets mentioned and someone's
Yes.
laughing in the background.
Exactly. So anyhow, we want people to share.
Right.
Here's the thing: we want to grow this organically. So
Yeah.
how are we going to do it? We're going to have people share our episodes.
Gotcha.
And we have, I think, a variety of episodes out right now, and so you can actually kind of like sink your teeth into some of the different content that we've produced and maybe share one of the episodes with your friends and tell them
Right.
why they
Right.
should listen to the Snowboard Project. I'm going to give away a board.
What
based
board?
on that.
What board are you going to give away?
I am not sure. I have to go through my quiver. I'll be posting it up, but I have a vintage board. I have about 150 vintage boards.
You have 150 vintage boards.
I'll be giving away.
Dude.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, share an episode of the Snowboard Project and tell people why you enjoy it. And then also, of course, rate it, review it, subscribe to it, and then, support it on Patreon, patreon.com/The Snowboard Project. That's how we're going to keep this independent voice in snowboarding media alive.
So what is your favorite episode so far that you've listened to?
For me, it might have been Trish Burns.
Really?
Maybe, yeah. Wow. I just thought it was like really good, a balance of like, just of like some historical stuff on Trish and her career, but then also some great advice for up and coming riders. And then also we talk about just how some subjects that really don't get talked about a lot, like how cute girls might get paid more than talented girls in snowboarding. And so I just thought that was a really good interview. How about you? What was your favorite episode?
I kind of liked our second episode with
Sione,
yeah.
Sione.
Yes.
Yes.
I kind of really liked that one. I mean, I also liked Draplin was hilarious to listen to.
Yeah.
He was yelling at a lot of different people through the years.
Yeah, totally.
But it was rad hearing kind of just about all the history that he had gone through, being a designer and that kind of stuff, and getting into the game with snowboarding, So I really like that one. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the board I'll give away. Never Summer Chairman. Brand new.
What year?
It's a Tailgate Alaska board.
Oh.
I think it was made a couple years ago. Never Summer Chairman, Never Summer, brand new, never been mounted.
And it has a tailgate graphic on the top.
It has like the knife graphic on it. Super limited edition. Yeah,
Yep.
It's like one of the sickest graphics.
I do like that.
So, Never Summer Chairman. So share one of the episodes. Chuck McLean from Dig My Quiver made that graphic, so I'll be giving away a Never Summer Chairman.
Chuck made that graphic?
Yeah, he drew that.
No way.
Yeah, Chuck is an artist.
Dude, that one is super sick. I remember that.
Yeah, so anyhow, share
I think I
that.
have one of those boards, don't
Share that. And I think we're going to make this last, we're going to see if it can last a week or 2 weeks. It depends. We're going to need at least 10 entries to give this board away, because this is like a $500, $600 board.
No way.
Yeah, brand new.
So go share an episode if you can.
Yep.
Across the interweb.
That's right.
And tell people why you like it.
Yeah, you can share it on Instagram or Facebook. You have to tag the Snowboard Project so we know that you're sharing it, because otherwise we won't know that you're doing it.
Right.
So there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Anything else? Oh, I was looking at Instagram today.
Okay.
I thought it was interesting. I was looking at Danny Davis's.
Oh, what is Danny up to?
What do you think Danny's up to?
Counting his money.
Close. The next best thing.
Shredding.
Nope.
Okay, I give up.
He's enjoying NASCAR with Sean Malto.
Of course.
Yeah. He's like in the pits at NASCAR,
really
taking it all in.
Huh.
I guess when you're sponsored by Mountain Dew, you get to do that,
Wow. It's like, what goes with the scent of patchouli oil? 4-stroke 800. NASCAR.
Yeah, NASCAR. I guess he totally forgot his hippie roots and just went right to the redneck ones.
Right. It's like, what goes well with the environment? 1,000 horsepower V8 unfiltered, whatever.
I wonder how many gallons of gas those things burn in like the 500 miles they have to do.
A lot. That's what they do pit stops for.
Yeah.
They can't carry enough of it.
It's so crazy.
Just burn that gas.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
So what,
have you ever been to a NASCAR? Have you ever been to NASCAR?
I actually have been to a NASCAR race.
Was it rad?
It was interesting to me. Like the racing was not interesting. Okay. They go left. They're always doing left-hand turns. I figured that much out. They don't do right-hand turns, only left.
Yeah, only left.
But I thought the coolest thing actually was like the merchandising, and how like every driver on the racetrack, they have like a semi truck with like just like everything, like coffee cups and shot glasses and T-shirts and leather jackets. And so it's like, here's this guy like Tony Stewart or whatever with his like Viagra sponsorship, and like people are buying $500 baby blue leather Viagra jackets. And I was like,
did you buy one of those?
I didn't, but you know what? I mean, actually, I think that's like probably the coolest one. Just anything branded.
Was
Viagra.
it one of those things that like burned itself into your brain?
It did. It did. But like, people are.
Has it forced you to buy the product?
No, but I mean, the thing is, it's like people like literally they can buy like, a brand like Tide. Like you wouldn't think that like Tide would be like a brand that like people would represent. And there's people like rolling like $500 leather Tide jackets.
I buy this Tide because Gary drives for them.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. And like, so every race car has its own like merchandising truck.
No way.
And so the merchandise of NASCAR is more impressive to me than the racing.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you looked at it really from a marketing standpoint.
I did. And the marketing of NASCAR is pretty incredible. The fact they were able to, just have all those brands, pay that kind of money to represent things. I mean, snowboarding doesn't have marketing like that.
No.
Branded marketing.
Did you see there's something to take from that? Or would that just bastardize snowboarding?
Probably, I don't think it would really be fitting, actually.
Wouldn't be fitting,
No,
yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Those Midwest sports, if you can
Motorsports,
call them that. Motorsports.
Yeah,
And
the motorsports. But I mean, I saw a race, actually seen 2 races because I got free tickets.
no way.
One I saw at the Richmond International Raceway in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
And that was actually, I wrote a story for Snowboarder magazine about snowboarding the Southeast.
And you also went to that while you were there?
I figured what would be more Southeast snowboarding than going to a NASCAR race.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I did that. And then I went to the California International Raceway, CIR.
Okay.
And saw a NASCAR race there. And, yeah, a lot of left turns.
A lot of left turns.
A lot of left turns, 500 miles, really loud. It's kind of cool to just check out just the, seeing 150,000 people or whatever. It's more than 100,000 people at one of those races, and they're all wearing their leather Tide jackets and leather Viagra jackets, and they have headphones on so they can listen into the pit conversations. It's interesting, like a cultural spectacle.
Wait, are there people that can tune different channels?
Yeah,
so
you can like they sell headsets where you can actually like tune into the different pits. You can like overhear like what they're talking about, like between the pit and the driver or whatever when you're sitting at the stadium.
That's kind of rad.
Yeah, it is rad.
Okay,
people
like
spend
that.
like $500 for a headset so they can tune into like the pits.
That'd be interesting if everybody wore headsets and it would just be like silent except for the sounds of the engine, and everyone would just be tuning in.
That is kind of what it's like.
The sound of nachos being crunched.
I mean, it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
It's pretty loud, yeah.
I imagine. Yeah. That's so rad.
Okay, so maybe we should do our trivia.
Yeah, let's do trivia. Last week's trivia.
Oh, we had some board graphic trivia.
We had some board graphic trivia.
Do you remember the questions? I do.
Can't find. Okay. Oh wait, here it is. It is. What was the name of the rider and the graphic? The famous graphic, apparently on Aggression.
Aggression snowboards out of, I believe, Boulder, Colorado.
Yep.
So the famous graphic would be a shotgun. It was like a sawed-off shotgun on the base graphic. And the rider was Tarquin Robbins. And so he was kind of like the first rider to go without high backs, baby blue top sheet, shotgun on the base. And that board would be really collectible today among the board collecting crowd.
Do you own one of those?
I do not. But I think they may have reissued that one. But that is certainly like the most famous Aggression graphic ever.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, there's that one.
Okay. What was Terrier's first graphic?
Oh, that would be the wooden sword. That would be the wooden sword Burton Pro model that he had. And that would, I would say probably the most collectible Terrier board would be the wooden sword. And so people pay good money for those things.
Yeah. What were some other real like Terrier graphics, I guess, those next couple years? Wasn't there one with like this kind of like dog hunched over, and there was one with a like really weird, I guess, like like space looking blob thing?
Yeah, I mean, he's had, God, I mean, how many pro models did he had? So many. So it's like, I would say the wooden sword is really the one that sticks out in my mind. That's the one that's like the most iconic Terrier graphic, but certainly there was a long series of boards that came after that.
Right.
Designed by Terrier. But
you don't have one of those, do you?
No, I don't own any Terrier boards. I don't collect those. Some people, like, that's like their holy grail. For me, it's like I'd already been riding for years and knew Terrier for years personally. And so it wasn't like this like thing where it was like this myth of Terrier. To me, he was just another guy from Norway.
Right.
Who followed Brushy around like I did.
When are we getting a Terrier interview?
I don't know. We should do a Terry interview. I'd like to interview him about the Olympics. I think that would be a really fascinating one because I know we have different perspectives, and so I think that we could have a pretty heated debate on the Olympics, and I think I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
So I think that could be pretty interesting. So I think we should do a Terrier.
Let's get Terrier on the horn. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What two boards have graphics of skate trucks on them?
Okay. 1 year, two board companies, Sims and
the same year.
Same year.
Okay.
Sims and Kemper both came out with skate graphics. A lot of them come out since, but in the first year that they came out, it was basically the Sims Noah Selaznick and the Kemper Andy Hetzel, and they both had, it was supposed to look like you were, skateboarding instead of snowboarding. So there was like a drawing of skate trucks on the base of both of these boards that year.
All right.
Yeah. So there's last week's trivia answers for you coming to you from the SNOWBOARD Project. We have some new trivia questions here this week.
We have a couple. You're going to have to make up one on the spot, though, number 3. Are you ready for this?
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, question number 1. Where was the first half-pipe competition ever held?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's, I think we've seen some pictures out there, that first comp. Number 2, what rider has won the most U.S. Opens in history?
Okay, I think I may know the answer to that.
Maybe. Okay, and what's your made up on the spot question?
Okay, made up on the spot. Okay.
Yep.
Who won the first half pipe gold medal for men, and then who was supposed to win? The person who did not compete but also should have won, maybe. It was a favorite to win the first Olympic half pipe medal, but ended up not competing for other reasons.
Huh.
So there's your live question.
So wait, who was the first men's Olympic half-pipe medal and who was expected to win?
Yeah, who should have won? Who was like the favorite before the Olympics to win the very first ever?
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So
good question.
Answers. Yeah.
I think I know who won the first half-pipe gold, but I don't know who was expected to win.
Okay.
Okay.
I could go to, if you have a justification, there's 2 answers that are acceptable.
Okay.
Right? But really, yeah, there's one that I'm thinking of, but really you could go 2 ways depending on your justification.
Okay. All right. Well, that's trivia for this week.
Cool.
That's it, huh? Did we get through this?
This has been a pretty slow week for us here at Real Talk. I mean, we could have talked a lot more crap.
You know what? The great thing is, though, that you and I, we just love to talk. So we're going to talk about anything, right?
Talky. I
don't know what just happened there, Sullivan.
Yes. Me neither.
It's just trying to fill space. I
think we got enough here. Let's call this a wrap.
All right, let's call it a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode
26.
26. Real Talk.
Yes.
On behalf of Mark Sullivan and the Beeve, thanks for listening to the SNOWBOARD Project. Remember, ride fast, take chances, dream big, and take action. And for God's sake, Don't forget to support advertising-free snowboarding media at patreon.com. The SNOWBOARD Project. The SNOWBOARD Project. The SNOWBOARD Project.